You want to lose weight, but you're too busy to be doing meal prep, hours of cardio, and getting 15,000 steps in every day. And you want to see results fast, right? If only there was 5 real ways to speed things up. Well, there are. They're all backed by science. You'll be able to do them immediately, and I'm going to show you exactly what they are. Number 1, sleep more. Wait, what? How am I going to lose more fat laying in bed? Surely I should be getting up at 5 AM, going for a run, and then jumping in a cold shower. Well, let's actually look at the science. When you sleep, your body regulates 2 key hormones which control your hunger: ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is the hormone that tells you you're hungry, and leptin, the one that tells you you're full. When you sleep less, your ghrelin spikes up and your leptin comes down, meaning you're hungrier throughout the day and you never quite feel satisfied no matter how much you eat. Matthew Walker explains in Why We Sleep that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night end up consuming 300 to 400 more calories during the day. I know it's not just because they don't want it bad enough, it's because their biology is literally pushing them to eat more. Also, when you're sleep deprived, your body becomes more insulin resistant, which means you're going to store more of what you eat as fat, particularly around your stomach. Combine that with that grogginess feeling, making you less likely to move, train, or make good food choices. Can you see why I'm putting this as number 1? So if you're busy with work deadlines and family, and you're already not getting a solid 7 to 9 hours sleep, don't worry about adding another diet or workout routine. Fix your sleep. Number 2, fasted cardio. You probably heard someone say, do cardio first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That's when you'll burn the most amount of fat. And it makes sense, right? You haven't eaten, so your body must be dipping into those fat stores for energy, right? Well, yes and no. Here's what the research shows. Yes, you burn a slightly higher percentage of fat during the actual session when you're fasted, but by the end of the day, the total amount of fat burn isn't any different compared to doing cardio after eating. What matters most for fat loss isn't whether you train fasted or fed, it's whether or not you're in a calorie deficit, aka you're eating less calories than you burn. Fasted cardio can be a great tool if you're busy. Why? Because it's convenient. You roll out of bed and get it done straight away. And it removes that friction of having to wait to eat your food and then digest your food before actually doing anything. And for the people I work with, that consistency is what matters the most. So fasted cardio helps you actually get your steps in, or it makes it easier to stick to your plan, then use it. And do not think of it as some magical fat loss hack. And just to clarify what I mean by cardio, no, I'm not telling you to go for a run or stand out in the garden doing jump rope for half an hour. Unless of course you enjoy that and you can do that every day. What I'm saying is go for a walk 20 to 30 minutes every single morning. If you want to mix in the occasional swim, run, gym class, by all means go for it. But at a very minimum, at least get some steps in first thing. Number 3 is caffeine. But Javid, I just need my coffee to get me through a day at work. How's this going to help me? Well, it's actually one of the most researched performance enhancers out there. Here's exactly what it does. Caffeine blocks a neurotransmitter called adenosine. This is what makes you feel tired. And by blocking that, makes you feel more awake. But here's where it helps you burn more fat. Studies have shown caffeine increases your metabolism, meaning you burn more calories, even when you're sat in back-to-back meetings before project deadline day. And it also improves your performance, helping you push harder in your workouts. The harder you push, the better results you get, the more fat you're going to burn. Now, I'm not saying an extra couple of coffees a day is going to help you having fat drip off your stomach, but what it will help you do is put you in a better state to burn more calories. So, how exactly do you get the most out of your caffeine? First, delay it by 90 minutes after you wake up. Why? Your body is naturally clearing out that adenosine I was talking about earlier. If you drink coffee immediately, you just mask that grogginess for a bit and it comes back harder later. So wait 90 minutes before you have your first coffee and you'll avoid that coffee crash later. Second, time your caffeine around training or important work blocks. That way you get the most out of the performance and focus benefits when you need them most. And third, cut off caffeine 8 to 10 hours before bed. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours. Which means if you drink it late, half of it's still in your system when you're trying to fall asleep. It's like having half a cup of coffee before bed. Even if you think you sleep fine, your deep sleep will still take a massive hit. And deep sleep is so important. It's where your body resets your brain, balances your hunger hormones, and repairs those muscles. If you cut that short, you wake up hungrier, more tired, and less recovered. Number 4 is protein. I love protein.
Are you guys talking about protein? I love protein. I love protein too.
We know you love protein. Protein rocks.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say you took 2 people, identical twins. Everything was exactly the same. And you fed them both 2,000 calories a day. The only difference is with one person, almost all of their calories came from protein. So all they ate was things like steak, chicken, fish. And the other person, all their calories came from fatty foods like donuts and cookies. After 90 days, who do you think is going to have lost more weight? And more importantly, who do you think is going to look like a zombie? Calories are not created equal. unbelievable. Most people massively underestimate how powerful protein is when it comes to fat loss. It's not just about building biceps, and here's why. Firstly, when you eat, your body uses energy to break down the food you've just eaten. It's called the thermic effect on food. And out of carbohydrates, fat and protein has the highest thermic effect on food. So your body burns more calories just digesting protein compared to fats and carbohydrates. In fact, 20 to 30% of the calories that you eat from protein get burned off during digestion. Plus, also helps keep you full. Studies have shown high protein meals reduce cravings and late night snacking, which for the busy remote professionals I work with, is usually where the diet falls apart. And protein protects your muscle when you're in a calorie deficit, which is so important. If you diet without enough protein, you don't just lose fat, you lose muscle too. And outside of having that weird skinny fat look, it will bring down your metabolism and make it easier to regain weight later on. So how much protein should you get? A good rule of thumb is to get 2 grams of protein for every kilogram you weigh in body weight. And most importantly, get it from foods you enjoy, whether that's meats or eggs or Greek yogurt or whey protein, or if you're vegan, tofu, beans, lentils. And the best way I get my clients to actually hit their protein goal, spread it throughout the day, have a high protein breakfast, a high protein lunch, don't just rely on saving it all for dinner. And if you're still struggling, protein shakes are a great way to help you get an extra 30-40 grams in as well. Number 5 is cutting out the liquid calories. Most people don't realize how many calories they drink. Fruit juices, energy drinks, caramel lattes, even those healthy smoothies you grab from Starbucks, they can be laced with hundreds, if not thousands of calories. And your body doesn't process liquid calories the same way it does solid food. If you eat 300 calories of chicken curry, you'll be full for a few hours. But if you had 300 calories of a frappuccino or an orange juice, you're still going to be hungry. So you're more likely to eat more on top of that. In fact, studies have actually shown that people who consume their calories through liquids didn't compensate by eating less later. In fact, they just added on top. So over weeks and months, that's extra thousands of calories you're adding without even noticing. In fact, here's a real example. My client Raj swore he didn't snack much and couldn't figure out why the weight wasn't coming off. But when we look closer, he was having 2 large lattes and a fruit smoothie on most of his office days. That's nearly 600 calories. That's a full meal. Once we swapped those out for an Americano and some sparkling water, the weight started dripping off immediately without changing anything else. And if you're busy, this is one of the easiest wins you can get. You don't have to change anything into your plate. All you have to do is change what's in your hand. Water, sparkling water, black coffees, Diet Cokes, all of these will give you the same or very similar experience without all the calories. So to sum it up, in my opinion, outside of special occasions, there's not really any reason to be having liquid calories, as pretty much everything has a low or 0 calorie alternative. Now, hopefully this gives you some actionable steps and takeaways you can go away and start using straight away. However, nothing in this video is going to matter if you don't have a full plan in place. You're not going to see results if you're hitting your protein goal but you're doing the wrong workouts, or you're getting a morning walk in but you're eating the wrong foods. You need to put it all together. Now, if you're over 30 and work remotely and you want a hand putting a plan all together, there's a link below this video that'll explain exactly how I can help you. If not, and you found this video helpful anyway, make sure you subscribe because I've got plenty more coming your way. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, all right, where's that frappuccino?